Hello.
Hello.
I made Julie laugh. Hello. Good evening, everyone. How are you? That's the Queen of England. No, not that fast. Like.
Oh, okay.
Good evening.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Who's joined us already? Thank you for joining us. Who's that? Let's see your name. Hello. Good evening. I hope you got your notification today. I really do, guys. I don't know why Facebook is doing this to us. How are you guys? Good evening. Who's there? We have the final reflection on the plague of silence today. Tomorrow we'll be having another surprise program. So I hope you will join us. But today we are all here. Thank you for joining. If you're joining for the first time, so this is reflection. We're going to reflect on the series on the plague of silence that Dr. Sunday thought about a few months, well, actually it's not months now, a few weeks ago. So that was in June, July, we're in August, yes, a couple of months ago. So it started towards the end of June and ended later, I think was the 9th of July. So please join us and actually also invite other people. Share this on your page and invite people too, please. Thank you. How are you today? I hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Is it Thursday today? Thursday afternoon. I'm in paradise. I don't know which day is which. It doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. I'm just enjoying each day as it is and doing my best to make a contribution to humanity. So how are you guys? I hope you're all okay. Thank you for joining. Please share this, share, and let us know who is there so that I can say hello. So this program that we have this evening, 7 p.m. Ukraine time and it's 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria time, is Reflections. And it's reflecting on Dr. Sunday's series over the last few months. So this particular series we're reflecting on is the plague of silence, and we started on the 26th of June. So Dr. Sunday started this teaching 9 p.m. on the 26th of June and finished on the 9th of July. So it had 14 titles in all, one trailer, which was amazing. It was by our very own Kate. So altogether, if you look on Dr. Sunday's YouTube page, Sunday Adelaja Official, you will find this on the main page is number 33. So it's playlist number 33. Please check it out. It has 14 titles on there, but the 14 of those are the daily broadcast and one trailer. So Mrs. D, thank you. How are you?
Hello.
I hope you're okay. We miss you here already.
Yes.
We do. We really miss you. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you've had a pleasant day today because I know you've been back to Uncle Sam already from your email this morning. But thank you for joining us again. Hi, Jane. How are you? I hope you're okay. Thank you for joining. I hope you will be able to contribute. Everyone, you can contribute to this program. You can either call us on Julie Ngoya's messenger, or you can actually write a comment, and we'll try to make this as engaging as possible so that it's not just us talking at you and just saying our opinions.
Yeah.
We really want you to share your opinions also with us. I think that would be great if you would do so. So please feel free to join us by contributing, telling us what you think, what your thoughts are, what you would like to hear, see, improvements you'd like to see. You can share that with us on these reflections, because this is a time where we're reflecting on the series by Dr. Sunday. So this series that we're reflecting on right now is the plague of silence. And as I said earlier, Dr. Sunday started his teaching on the 26th of June, and it ended on the 9th of July. So it was a daily broadcast in the evening. And there's several titles, there are 14 in all. We had one trailer, which makes it 15. And then we had the plague of silence, which is the introduction, the culture of silence. We had the culture of silence equals the culture of evil. We have the plague of silence, the culture of silence, the culture of evil part 2. Then we had truth. missed it. Hold on. So this is in the orders. Truth, my best friend. Truth, my best friend. And then we had silence is darkness. Silence means consent. The root of foolishness, that silence is a root of foolishness. And then we had one person on the side of truth is in the majority. One person on the side of truth is in the majority. Then we had cry out, do not hold back. Cry out, do not hold back. Then please don't repeat the mistakes of Martin Niemöller. This is a German guy, Martin Niemöller. You can read up about him, check Google out. That's where I usually find out. Or even listening to this playlist alone, or this actual title alone, you will learn more about Martin Niemöller. So it's worth listening to. Don't ever forget Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Don't ever forget Dietrich Bonhoeffer. That's part 1 and part 2. Then we had Lessons of Boldness by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So that's Lessons of Boldness by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the final item on the playlist is Fear Not. Fear Not. So that means you should not fear. So those are the 14 titles in the playlist plus one trailer, making 15. So today, which is the final day that we're going to reflect on the plague of silence, we really want you to engage with us. We want you to ask questions, make a comment, let's discuss, let's really dialogue. We can do this because we're live, so there's no reason why we can't. You can either call us or you can write your comment down in the comment section. We're very close to the camera today, so we'll be able to read what you've written. It's not like the other days where we have more people joining us, so we had to move the camera further up so that you can see everyone in the room. But today it's just myself and Julie Ngoya, who you can call on Messenger. Yes. So please feel free to call us if you want us to. If you want to make a comment verbally live, please do so. So Jane has written something. Let me read out what Jane has written. Good evening, Queen Julie and Mayowa. Thank you. Good evening, Jane. I'm not getting notification these days. I'm not sure why. Can someone help? Yes. We are working on it, Queen Jane. We are really doing that. And also what you can do is also write to Facebook and say that you're not getting notification and you don't know why. You've tried to inform us and there's nothing much we can do other than write to Facebook. We've written to Facebook and we will continue to write to Facebook because we don't know why the notification have stopped. Yes. We definitely did not stop it on our side.
Yes, and one other thing is also for you to check if you are still subscribed to Dr. Sunday's live videos, because it seems like there was an error with the app if you're using a mobile device that seems to have unsubscribed you. So what you should do is use your phone or your mobile device and go to the settings of when you're on the page of Dr. Sunday. So you go to notifications and then you choose live notifications and you go first. And exactly, first of all, you choose to see his notifications first, and then you choose to be alerted for his live notifications. So do these two things, and then it may change for you as well.
Yes. So those are good points from Julie. First of all, you can write to Facebook to say you're not getting notification, but before you do so, check your device and check that you also have notification from Dr. Sunday set up for you. So it might have unsubscribed you or disable your notification. So make sure that it's not disabled, and just reboot your device as well. That could help, because sometimes when they put on an update, then everything just kind of change. It model everything up, especially with different companies and different devices. They have their own software. So if Facebook updates their software, then it would affect the software of the different companies and device or softwares, iOS and Android. So please check that out as well. That could be the reason. But yes, let's go back to the plague of silence reflection. So guys, please join us. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Let me say hello to a few people. So we said hello to Mrs. D. Then we said hello to Miss Song, hello, how are you? Prosperous, how are you? Good evening. Ify, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Well done. Yes, you did well. You are who managed to join on time today. Good, good, good. We love to have you. Stanley, good evening. Chioma, how are you? Good evening. And Mrs. D, I will be rewatching later. Okay, you can watch because you're on the road, so you can watch anytime. So guys, can I just ask you for one favor before we really start? Is to share. Sounds like three, but it's actually one thing, which is share. And also, please don't forget to invite people, especially now that we know that Facebook is not notifying people, and some of us are not getting notification. So the best thing is to actually invite people individually, and you can also copy the link onto the pages that you are or you manage or you've joined, so that other people from those pages can join in our conversation today. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. We appreciate you for doing that. DJ, good evening. Thank you. And Ify, thank you for that response that you've already shared. Well done. I hope you've also invited other people too. Thank you. So this is reflection on the plague of silence. We started this on Monday. This is Thursday. So this is our 4th day of reflecting, and this will be our final day of reflecting this week on the plague of silence. The plague of silence has in total 14 titles, including one trailer. That's 15. And I've read that the list of titles is on YouTube right now, so you can check out Sunday Adelaja Official. Sunday Adelaja Official, and it's series number 33. Series number 33. So you'll be able to see all the series and listen to it over and over again. For me, I mean, I've been talking for a while, but I can keep on talking. I really want Julie to talk because I know she's itching. I always feel the vibration when people want to talk. But now, before Julie talks, I just want to say a few things in terms of this series exactly, especially how it's been for me. And I also want you, if you're listening to us there, to also share your thoughts about that. Hello, Ola Martins. It's been a while. It's nice to have you on board with us. Thank you very much for joining. So what happened to me during this series is just phenomenal. I just, for me, it was just like a rebirth, just understanding the plague of silence, what it means to keep quiet, because I'm somebody that I don't like to keep quiet. I not keep quiet in terms of not talk, but if I see some sort of injustice or something that is unfair happening, I'm somebody that really wants to talk and defend it. But I'm surrounded by everything and everybody shutting me down and shutting me up and saying no. Before I came here to Ukraine, saying that, you know, a woman shouldn't do certain things, saying that, you know, I need to respect elderly as an African person, saying that I shouldn't say anything, other people can deal with it, and I'm wondering who are the other people that would deal with it. Saying that if I want peace of mind, she just ignore situations, ignore things. And I just lived in frustration because the things that I see that I want to say, that's inherent in me, that I want to say something, but I'm not able to because I've been warned several times. Even my mother says, you this girl, don't let people kill you, or, you know, and they will even tell me, don't go to Nigeria, don't do this, because the way you would just talk and say things as it is, you will not last. They just tell me that I'm not going to last. And, you know, they imbibing those wrong culture of the plague of silence in me slowly, that because I couldn't keep to that rule, I just don't want to associate. I don't want to spend too much time with people who I don't know, because I know that if something happens, I can't help it, but I would just want to say something and say, this is not right, you shouldn't do this, don't let us do this. Even in church, I know that some of them have the best intention, they're working based on what they know, which is false as well, which is the wrong information. They're living by the wrong information. It's not because they dislike me, so I understand that. But this is very prevalent in society, that we should keep our mouth shut. It's even seen as a virtue if you don't say anything. And if you say something, then you're the bad person, you're the big mouth, you're the person that is stirring up trouble, you're the person that thinks that you know everything. There's no insult or no way that they haven't tried to shut me down and other people, not just me, shut most people down. But just hearing and sitting through this Plague of Silence series, it was just like, whew. So This is exactly how life is supposed to be. So God created me well. It wasn't that there was an issue with the way that I was created. It was just an issue with my community, my surrounding, the people that I'm surrounded with, that they have not imbibed the culture of speaking the truth. So that was the issue. So I was really pleased, and I really like to know what some of you also were feeling, how you felt, given that this is the last day of this reflection. It would really be good if you can just share with us how you felt just listening to this Plague of Silence, some of the titles, how Dr. Sunday have spoken about this, the examples that he's given, the information that he's given us, the scriptures as well as giving us on silence, the quotes, how you were feeling, how you felt about it. It's really nice to hear from you and hear how you feel. That's just my little story. I've got lots more stories, but I really like Julie to say something because I can feel that she wants to say something.
Yeah, I really like what you said because, you know, this culture of not speaking up, it reveals a lot about the people that don't speak. Because I started to think about my own dedication and commitment to truth, you know, because if you put your silence or your fear of being vocal about, you know, something that matters above the truth, then there's a problem because, you know, you tend to compromise just because of your fear, just because of your obedience to something else that is higher than the truth, even though nothing else should be higher than the truth. And this
that
is
you
what
think
I
is higher than the truth.
That you think exactly that is higher than the truth, even though that is not the case. It is not the truth. And it really made me realize that we are not as committed to the truth as we think or we say we are, because we put our self-preservation and the preservation of the people around us above the truth. And that's why people were telling you that, you know, they were saying, oh no, take care of yourself, because people will attack you or people will hate you, fight against you if you say the truth. So really what we're saying was, think about yourself. Think about yourself first and preserve yourself first. Don't think about the truth. Don't think about, you know, setting people free. Don't think about what actually matters. Think about yourself. And that's, you know, the root of evil. You know, exactly. That's the root of everything that destroys relationships in this world, that puts, you know, segregation between people, because we only think about ourselves. We think about ourselves first and not about the others or what would be beneficial to other people. And there's nothing else, nothing higher than truth. There's nothing that can give you much more freedom and love than truth. And I understood this thanks to this teaching. I'm so grateful that I was able to make a self-inventory, you know, because I think most of us are inclined this way because we just didn't know better. You know, we didn't know better, or, you know, we refused, you know, we refused to do the right thing. But now that you have gotten that message, there really is there's no excuse, because you can't do anything against the truth, as we've learned. You know, there's nothing you can do against the truth, only for the truth. So, yeah.
And, you know, I know we talk about the truth, which is another series on its own, but they're all linked because we're talking about the plague of silence. And you're thinking, okay, what's this got to do with the truth? But not keeping quiet when you shouldn't keep quiet is actually being truthful. So it's all linked. It's not just about and this keeping quiet we've discussed during the week already. And if you're joining us for the first time or you're rehearing this again, we can emphasize on it enough. It's not just speaking alone. Yes, speaking is one of the actions, but also writing is another method. So if you see that something is wrong, writing about it. You yourself not doing that thing, because we are talking about other people or what somebody else did, you know, speaking against it. Also, for you to demonstrate lack of silence is you not doing the wrong things, you know, because by us, if I continue to do something wrong and I know that is wrong, it's like I'm keeping quiet on the truth. I'm not doing the truth.
And that's the emphasis here, right? Because it's also not that we're saying, oh my gosh, nobody should ever keep silent again, because there are moments where you obviously should keep silent, especially when you have a conversation with someone else. You know, you want to understand the person. You want to be able to communicate that you hear.
You also listen.
You're listening, exactly. And how do you want to listen if you're not quiet? You know, so this is a moment where obviously you should be silent.
Yes.
But you know, you should be able to make that distinction, because I can imagine that there are people who are saying, well, but sometimes it's important to stay quiet. But you have to know when and why.
Yes. And when we're talking in terms of keeping quiet, it's not keeping quiet not to listen to people, not to try and understand people and understand where they're coming from. Is when you know that there's something, you can distinguish that there's an issue here, and you know what is right to do or to say or to speak up against it, and you say nothing. So it's not about you listening and communicating with the other person. It is about you standing up for justice, for the truth, for the right things. So it's also keeping quiet if you yourself are the perpetrator. So if you're doing something that is wrong, then you're keeping quiet on silence and you're not being truthful, you know. So that's also us, because I think sometimes we look upon other people too much of things when we are the people. If all of us do the right thing, then there will be nobody to challenge if we're doing the right things. Yes. So really, we're the people that we're talking to ourselves. We're not just talking at people or to other people. We're saying that we also need to start to imbibe the right culture, the right behavior, doing the right thing, even if it hurts, not going for instant gratification, not just going for self-preservation, you know. Self-preservation, as far as I'm concerned, is instant gratification, because at that moment you feel good, you're preserving yourself. But what are you sowing? What are the plagues that you've released by you just keeping quiet, you know, or by you not doing the right thing? So keeping quiet and this plague comes in so many forms, and we need to identify it and identify those forms in ourselves, because we are the perpetrator. It's not about another peer person doing something. It's about what we do. All the evils that happen in this world is because we allowed it, and because we also are the perpetrator. So we're the one doing it, and we're the one accepting it. So it's just, you know, it's just that at a basic level. We need to develop ourselves in such a way that we know the right things to do. We do the right things when we're supposed to do them, and we imbibe the right thing always. Not today you do the right thing, and then tomorrow you're doing the wrong thing and thinking, okay, you know, you did the right thing yesterday, so that should cover tomorrow. You know, it should be our lives. It should be our day-to-day walk, our behavior, our character, even at the expense of us, of our comfort, you know, because I think comfort is also something that we have become so used to. I mean, I'll put my hands up. I'm very like, I like comfort. I like things to go well. I like to be in good atmosphere. I like to enjoy myself. But that is not the truth, because life is not just that. And if I just want to be in that mode and be that way every single time, then I'm not living in truth, and I am going to be a perpetrator of evil, because that life doesn't work like that. It cannot always be good, and I have to tell myself that truth. I have to speak to myself and tell myself that truth, that if that's the way that I want to live, then I am damaging something, destroying someone, destroying myself, destroying my world. So I really need to learn also and believe and trust the truth to stand, rather than my feelings of, oh, this feels nice, this is good, I would enjoy this. This is always what I want. If I'm honest, I just want to live in perpetual enjoyment. I don't even want to look at anything.
Yeah, and I want to add to this, because this really made me think of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. You know, the one who had just gone to the States, the German, very well-known pastor that went to the United States, you know, after studying and everything. He wanted to get married.
He did get married.
He did get married, exactly. He did get married, and shortly after, you know, the atrocities in Germany started. And this is when he was in the best moment to be and enjoy the comfort, you know. After you get married, obviously you have honeymoon and you talk about the future and you just spend time enjoying your spouse. But he didn't have time to do that, because he decided
he chose not to do that.
Exactly. I mean, he decided to put truth about his comfort, I mean, who does that?
I know.
Who does that? Would we really be able to do that nowadays? I mean, even after listening to the series, it is very, very hard to do that. How much do you have to be committed to the truth to really abandon one of the greatest comforts that you can have in this life, you know? So this is really something that undermines what Mayowa has just said, because comfort can be such a great, great obstacle to us doing the right thing or standing up for the truth. I mean, who of us, we have so many people who are from Africa, who are in diaspora, who are living outside of, you know, where atrocities happen, you know, but we are not going back because of those atrocities. We're not going back because we know the truth, but we're saying, oh, you know, there are so many reasons why we don't go back. There are families, there are work, our education. There's so much that, you know, holds us back. But if we really stand for the truth, we should ask for ourselves if this is really what we're living. And you know, it's a good, very, very good teaching for us to reflect on that, because I mean, I can't get it out of my head. I don't know if you can, but if I think of him, of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and what he has done, no wonder that people don't, you know, forget him. No wonder that he's so celebrated in life. And even though he missed the victory of truth afterwards, truth still rose again.
Yes, but using him as an example now.
Exactly. He's being used as an example for truth, for a person standing up for truth. It took him, you know, the denial of his own comfort, like the peak of his own comfort, to do that, to help all of us, teach all of us a lesson. Because of him, we are able to learn from these things. So imagine if he hadn't done that. We all have to somehow stand up for the truth in no matter what area in life. We cannot compromise on the truth, you know, for our own comfort.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with the example that and Julie have just used, and also that is series number 12 and number 13 is in 2 parts. So yeah, no, sorry, it's not series. It's series number 33, but in number 33 is title number 12 and 13. So pardon me, it's title number 12 and 13 in series 33 of The Plague of Silence. So if you just want to watch that on its own, so I'm just giving you a fast track way to watch it on Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. And that's absolutely a good point in terms of comfort. I wasn't even thinking about him with that. And that story, I heard it for the first time, and then I went and read a little bit more about it to try and understand. This guy just recently got married. I don't even think it's up to 6 months. And leaving America, leaving his wife in America was the last time he saw his wife. He died just before the war. But still, his legacy, the end of the war, you know, just before, I think it's probably days, if not weeks, before, weeks, if not days before the end of the war that he died. And this is somebody that has actually left his comfort, you know, released his comfort for future, for posterity, you know, so that we can probably enjoy the people that probably didn't die because of him. He went to stand for the truth, you know. And nowadays, we're not even in war. A lot of us wouldn't even go to Nigeria. We know the solution to Africa, the continent, the problems of the continent. We know the solutions to the problem of our nations. Individually, we know what we can do, but because of our comfort where we are now leaving atrocities for our children, for our children's children, because if we don't resolve it now, we're leaving it for them to resolve later. So we really need to think about that and think about the character that we imbibe, the behavior, the mindset that we're setting up, the seed that we're sowing. You know, if this guy so many years ago during the war can go and do this, we should all have learned from him, and we should all be doing this. I'm talking to myself here because I'm even afraid to go to Nigeria because of mosquitoes. How stupid is that? How self-preservation is, how much more of a self-preservation is that? It's really wrong, you know. I'm ashamed to say it, even though I'm saying it now, but shameful. You know, I have solutions, there are things that, you know, I can do, but I'm thinking, oh, you know, I'm still getting 24 hours light, electricity, Nigeria is like this. Whereas, you know, you can even sacrifice a little bit of pain for a short period of time for better life, for a better future. So why is it that we're all doing it and we're running into diaspora and people are running from Africa, dying, while they're doing during the journey?
Transatlantic.
Yeah, they're dying in boats and things. It's because of this plague of silence. They'll rather run away from it. It's because everybody's seeking comfort over doing the right thing, comfort over truth, comfort over you standing for the right thing in the world, in your community, comfort over standing against evil. We'll rather commit every lie, every atrocities for us to seek comfort wherever we're going to achieve comfort. And when did we get into this? And it's not solving any problem. That's the sad thing about it, is because our problems is still continuing. The problem is still there. The challenges are still there. But yet we're doing it.
Exactly. I was just going to say that, we're saying that we're in comfort, or we think that we are in comfort, but we really are not. The comfort that we are enjoying, as long as it's not based on truth, it is only temporary.
Yes.
And it's, the next issue is going to come up again, and the next issue, and the next issue, and the next issue. I've known that for myself. I grew up in Germany, and everyone would say, especially in our family, the family in Africa would expect us to be rich because we live in a rich country, and to send money, to send this, to send that. They would never think that we could ever suffer in any way living in Germany. But it's absolutely not the case. And people who live in Western countries know that, Even those who are rich are not even living in comfort, because most of these people are not happy. No. They're not happy. And you've heard...
Yes,
we've heard that. We've heard even Dr. Sunday saying that he had lots of friends who were rich, and he doesn't even remember if there's one person who was happy, truly happy with their lives. We can have everything and not being happy. Why? Because we are not living in truth. And this is really what we have to realize, because truth is what gives us so much comfort, and it enables us to speak, and peace, to really speak out, because you will know that there's nothing that can happen against it. It's almost like being invincible. It's like being invincible. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can do anything. It's basically what we all are looking for, But we're running away from what we are looking for to, some things that don't satisfy us. So we are always in this wheel of trying to find comfort that we just never get, because we don't seek it in the right places. We don't base it on truth. And this is what keeps us from discovering the truth. And I'm just very, what can I say? It's very saddening. It's very saddening to realize that, when Dr. Sunday says where there's a problem, there is money, for instance. We think, oh, wow, that's an amazing statement. But look at how much truth there's behind it,
And yet we're running from and we say we want money.
Yes.
I think that's another program entirely.
Exactly, that's a different program. But I'm saying, we don't speak out against those problems. We don't say anything against them. We keep quiet, even though we find comfort in doing that. We find peace in doing that. We find money in doing that.
Yeah. All the riches that we want is in truth,
yeah,
and is not keeping quiet. Truth does not keep quiet. Truth does the right thing, takes the right action.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So this is really a treasure. Speaking out is a treasure for us. It's like, it's like finding that treasure where everything we're looking for is hidden. Only if we would speak up. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? It's just, wow.
Yes, and that wow really is exactly how I feel when Dr. Sunday started the Plague of Silence. I was talking about, how I felt just hearing it and hearing that how important it is. And before he moved on to the truth, that was the basis, that was the foundation, that was really of the truth. It's not keeping quiet and saying the right thing and doing the right thing. And Julie touched on the rich and, rich not being happy. If you're rich in a country where there's problems and you kept quiet and you're just saying that, okay, I have money to run to somewhere, or I have money to afford certain things, you're just fooling yourself. Those things will be temporary. They're not going to last at all. Or I fooled myself. We fooled ourselves by live in Africa to come to Europe, to think that, okay, we would have more peace in Europe. We would live in comfort in Europe. But we didn't live in comfort or have peace in Europe. We were just deluded. Inside of us, we didn't feel peace. There were so many other things happening in Europe, which is understandable. Everywhere has their own issues. They have their own problems. But the peace that we seek, we didn't have it.
Yeah.
And the same very place that we left was where our heart was. Our heart was always there. And we left it thinking that we wanted peace and we're going to forget. But it doesn't work like that. I think God has created us in such a way that we would have passion. There's nothing that we can do against the truth. And this is where Dr. Sunday, when he was saying that there's nothing you can do against the truth, it's not that, you're going to go and fight the truth or whatever. No, it's the fact that using the example of just leaving Africa to go to Europe and to go to like what we call greener pastures, and still there, we still couldn't fight. We couldn't even find the peace that we needed. We had all the material things. We had everything that we wanted, but we didn't have the peace. So we couldn't find against the truth of making Africa better, making Africa the kingdom of God as it's supposed to be, or everywhere the kingdom of God as it's supposed to be, doing the right thing, challenging the problems that we see, that we clearly can analyze, that we see that are there, but we couldn't run away from it. Running away wasn't going to give us peace. Going to England, going to America, wherever you want to go to, you still find that there was something lacking. And I really think that that's where it says that you cannot fight against the truth. So you were against the truth by running off and saying, okay, I'm not going to stay in this country for now. I'm going to go when everything is put right. Then I'll come back and, come and enjoy it. I mean, even saying that, I'm ashamed to say that but that's what we did.
Yeah.
That's what we all did. It's like, I don't want to deal with Africa's problem.
Yeah.
My parents didn't want to deal with it and they don't want me to deal with it. They send me. Even when I was of age, it's like, I don't want to deal with it as well. I want to stay here. But yet, I couldn't fight. I could not fight against the truth. I could not stand against the truth because this truth still got me. I was still not content where I was. So this is where the story of the rich people not being happy. If you're not doing the right thing, you can have all the money in the world. You can't fight against the truth. Something in you will still be lacking.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, the thing that Pastor Sunday also spoke about, which is the kidnapping in Nigeria, for instance, because it didn't start the way it is right now. And those who were not affected were saying, oh, it doesn't concern me.
I have big gates.
Exactly, I have big gates, and they're not going to come here, and I'm not going to be hurt, or my children, or whatever. But what is happening now? Exactly what they tried to avoid. Because they did not stand up for the truth. They did not speak when it was most necessary. Especially those who have a lot of influence. Most of the time, they stay quiet until they are affected.
Yes.
Why does it have to come that far? Why do we have to wait until, we don't have any choice? Why don't we make that choice deliberately to fight for the truth and avoid more issues, avoid more atrocities? But we stay because this person doesn't say anything, I'm not going to say anything, so nobody's saying anything, but we all are ending up losing. Why? We can all avoid this because we can all speak, we can all do something about it. Like Dr. Sunday even gave the example of you not necessarily giving out your name. If you're afraid of somebody putting down your name anywhere or ruining your reputation, whatever, say the truth, but use a different name. The truth is the truth. It doesn't even matter. The same as when you call something wrong that someone is doing, wrong is wrong. It's not about putting a finger on someone or saying, oh, this person is holy because they said the truth. What matters is the truth, and it's that we speak for the truth. We speak out. So if you can do that, you should do that. There's like a saying that says, I think, if you have the power to make someone smile or to make someone happy, do it, because you have the power. It's the same for speaking out. You can speak if you have the possibility to do so. You're not somehow chained somewhere or someone put you in a bunker or whatever. There's really no excuse that we have not to speak. And especially if we have the means, especially if we are rich. The rich people can do so much. You have so much influence if you're someone who is rich. And that's one of the reasons why we actually are supposed to, also strive to be the best in all our areas so that we have influence, so that when we speak, many people will hear us. We can attract as many people as possible to the truth. And that's why whenever I had conversations with people who were saying, "Oh, why do you want to become rich? Why do you want to do this? Why is money important? Because as Christians, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't have this."
Right.
But you have to, for a reason, for the truth. You have to use what you have for the truth. And how are you going to have a lot of influence? How are you going to have a lot of impact? Like Martin Niemöller, for instance, if you're not known, if nobody knows you, yes, obviously you can help a few people around you in your neighborhood, in your community, and this is good. But we need more. There's much more suffering. There's too much suffering for us to confine ourselves in small four walls or a little neighborhood, a village that we find ourselves in. So
That's brilliant, Julie. And what Julie was saying there that we really need to highlight is that it doesn't really have to affect us. And I think this is where the plague comes in. That's where it becomes a plague, because we keep quiet because it's not affecting us.
Yeah.
We're saying that it doesn't affect us. And this is the mistake of Martin Niemöller, which Dr. Sunday spoke about in one of the titles of this series, The Plague of Silence. And his quote was, he lived from 1892 to 1984, and he says, first they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. So that's clear. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. And this is the atrocity of silence. This is the plague of the silence, when we keep quiet, when we do nothing, when we don't do the right thing. And with the rich people, or the people that can afford, or they think that they're not affected now. We always think that we're not affected now, so I don't need to do anything. It's not until you are affected, and it's not until it bites you before you decide that you're going to do something just for humanity, just for the love of God, just for the love of truth, just for the love of yourself. Because in the long run, it's going to come for you. There's no escaping it. You cannot be against the truth. So if it happens to other people, it would eventually happen to you. So, but you don't have to do it even because it wouldn't happen to you. Just do it because it's not right.
That's the right type of self-preservation, actually.
Yes, do it exactly. There is a good self-preservation, not just because they're going to come to you eventually. Just do it because it's not right. Speak because it's not right, not because, okay, they will come for me later. That's even, for me, it's even a wrong motive. It's a good way, it's a way to start as a human being, at least you're speaking. But just take that out of your mind. Just do it because it's wrong, not because, I will benefit in the future.
It's truth.
It's the truth. Just stand for the truth, full stop. That's what you need to do. ID have decided to join us. He cannot get away from this plague of silence. He loves the truth, and he loves to speak about it. So he's here with us. And he's going to say something. They can see you, ID, don't worry.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone on the platform. Good evening to everyone. Nice to have you once again. We are still doing reflection on the plague of silence. Reflection on the plague of silence.
Yes.
So, for everyone who are on the platform, we have been committing this plague, these abominations, because every one of us, we are the mouthpiece of God. God wants to speak, and He needs your mouth to speak. God wants to challenge some doctrines. It needs your voice to be able to speak. If God wants to speak, maybe from heaven, even the old earth would crack. So he will not abuse the principle that he has put in place. The principle that he has put in place is me and you, which we're supposed to be the voice of God. And permit me to render a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. He said that injustice anyway is injustice everywhere. Let me repeat that again. Injustice anyway is injustice everywhere.
Yeah.
So, as we are the light, as we are the sons of God, we cannot afford to commit this menace. We cannot afford any longer to commit this atrocity, because silence on the face of evil means a consent. You give your approval, you approve for the evil men to overrule, to rule, and to do whatever they want to do. So, as we are the sons and daughters of God, our voice need to be heard. Our words need to be heard. Our picture needs to be heard. If you cannot write, you can speak. If you cannot speak, you can paint a picture.
You can stand.
You can stand. If you cannot, you can share some of the posts that you've seen some people. You know, some of the time when I write on social media, somebody will just write me, you are just echoing what is in my mind. You can go ahead and share that. Let people know the stance, that the position that you stand. Remember that if you did not stand for something, you will fall for anything.
Yeah.
Let people know your stand. That is why the Bible says that it will spew you out, that you are neither hot nor cold. So let people know the side that you are standing on. Are you standing on the right of the truth? Because one man on the side of the truth is in a majority. So, like my mentor has started this movement. He is the starter, and I am the finisher. What he starts, I will finish it. And I am sure that I am not alone on this.
Yes, you're not.
I have some brothers and sisters that you have not seen them yet, but I tag myself as the finisher of what that has been started. I will finish it, and I welcome everyone on board to join me and to join us to finish this good work.
Well done. Thank you, ID. That's really important. I think the quote that ID mentioned there, that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And that's really important, and you should always think about it. And maybe you should change it to injustice to somebody else is injustice to me. So that way you can personalize it, and you will know that if there's injustice to somebody, or somebody is suffering somewhere, or sometimes when we talk about churches and we talk about things that are happening, the atrocities in churches and deception in churches, we are all thinking, or some of us are thinking, well, it's not me, I don't go to that church. But if you think that any injustice to somebody in that church or anywhere at all is actually injustice to yourself, maybe you will start to act. Because that's exactly what that quote is saying. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So injustice to somebody else is injustice to me. Injustice to humanity is injustice to me. So maybe that way I can find the energy, the power, the courage to get up and do something about it. Injustice to other people's children is injustice to your children. Injustice, anything. It doesn't even have to be injustice. Even poverty to somebody else is poverty to you. Murder to somebody else that is happening is murder to you. They're killing you too. Anything that is happening, maybe if you can just put it that way, you'll be able to find courage to speak and to say something. And you're needed. ID started that we are the mouthpiece of God. We're not just the mouthpiece of God, we're mouthpiece, we're the ears, we're the eyes, we're the nose, we're the light of this world. We're the heartbeat of God. So we really need to look after each other and look after this land, this kingdom on earth. we need to look after it, and we have to do everything in our power to do so. So don't hide away, don't be afraid. I know that, there's a lot of constraints that causes this kind of behavior, but now you've been empowered. And we have Dr. Sunday's teaching is on YouTube. It's absolutely free of charge. All you need wherever you are is internet. Yeah. There's no charge, there's no registration, there's no log on, nobody's asking for your password or asking for your email address or anything of sorts. Or tithes and offering, or maybe spend time in church, or this is out there. You need to really propagate this for yourself and for people. Go there and learn. Go there and teach yourself how to be the best, how to enjoy this kingdom on earth, how to achieve greatness, how to make this world a better place. So please go to Sunday Adelaja Official. And of course, some people are not into this listening and spending data. If you can afford it and you do have time, I think reading is absolutely pivotal. It is important that we read and read out to ourselves, read and see what's happening in the world, read as widely as possible. Somebody mentioned that yesterday. But Dr. Sunday also have a whole host of books, that would really, really help. They're not just any titles, they're not any book. They're books to transform, they're books to improve, they're books to enlarge. They're not books to just, read and just that's it. They're books to improve, to develop. So you can go on Amazon, wherever you are in the world. If you have access to Amazon, just type in Sunday Adelaja and you will see a whole host of books that you can order and buy. They're not expensive at all, and some of them are available actually all of them are available electronically. So if you have a phone, you have any type of device, you can download Kindle on it and be able to read any of Dr. Sunday's books. So please just order the book, buy the book. There's little as like £3 or maybe $3, some of them. So, and if you have a membership with Amazon, you even get to read some free. So go ahead. You have the audio, you have going to Amazon, you have audios which you can obtain on YouTube as well. Sunday Adelaja Official. We uploaded some audios recently of some of Dr. Sunday's teaching, which are on audios, no video, on YouTube. So you can also have that. They will take less bandwidth in terms of internet if you're in Africa. So you'll be able to listen to that. So go to Sunday Adelaja Official. And also you can go to Sunday Adelaja. You can also go to Sunday. You can also go to SundayAdelajablog.com, which is which is his website. There are articles on there. There are all sorts of information that you can obtain on there. So please go on all those platforms, and you'll get. There's Instagram as well. There's you wouldn't be getting information. There's Instagram. There is Twitter. Sunday Adelaja, join so that you can see the information, you can see updates, you can see things to help you to develop yourself, to make you a better person. And of course, Cecile has wonderfully put on here that there's Okada books. So if you're in Africa and you want electronic version of Dr. Sunday's book, there's Okada books. That's OKADAbooks.com. So check them out. Some people have written some things. Julie, do you want to read out some of what they said?
Yes. So let me check your comment. Thank you, Cecile. Cecile is saying, family, I want to share with you that some church members are actually contacting us to know more and have more series on the kingdom. Wow. To me, it's really a victory. Wow, this is beautiful, Cecile. You do have the resources, so feel free to send everything with them. So,
and invite them to join all the platforms as well. So you can also add your friends and family to the platforms. So, and they can join us, of course, on Facebook. They can join us on the Facebook DSA family, Movement Against Deception in the Church. They can also subscribe to Dr. Sunday Adelaja on Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube. And they can also go onto his page on Facebook and also subscribe and like.
There's so many resources on Dr. Sunday's YouTube channel. It's not just the series that we have, the 35 or 34 series that he has in total. There's a whole array of different messages and materials that Dr. Sunday has, like audio messages, like we also have the recordings of all his Ask Dr. Sunday shows. We have so many different things, very crucial short messages to summarize a few things if you may not have a lot of time on some days. So really there's a lot. There's nothing that actually is lacking, to be honest with you. We have Jane Mutsaka who's saying the whole teaching really taught me to stand up to injustice of any form perpetrated to anyone, as long as I'm aware of it, as it may affect me or those in my inner circle one day. That's very true, Jane. It may always affect us one day. Oninia says, oh, good evening. Hello, Jane. Cecile says, yes, for our children, we need to stand. Yes. We need to think about the next generations to come. Paul Isupofo, hello. Hi, Rufaro. Paul is saying, truth is not relative. Very correct. Yes. Hello, hello, Oriomi. Hello, Mr. Evan Samarachi, Chinwe. Hello, Luwatuin. Hello, Idera. Okay, so these are all the comments that we have for now. Yeah. So, do you want to add something more?
Yes, I want to add something more. Okay, everyone on the platform, I would love to know what you are doing at the moment. What are you doing? Don't just do this to yourself. When you commit the atrocity of silence, you are killing yourself. That is not who you are. Do you know who you are? You are the truth. That is why you know the truth in what you. So you refusing to let it out, you are killing yourself. So I'm advising you, don't do that. Your voice needs to be heard. The way God created this whole earth so that every man, every woman, every boy and girl voice could be heard. That is why He gave us unique identity, unique voice and perception, that we can look and see things in our own perception. Please don't commit that atrocity. Don't kill the inner you that is still yearning to speak out, to come out. I encourage you to come out. I was once like you. I was afraid of what is inside me. I always feel it. I was afraid. I was scared. Don't do it to yourself. Come out fully. I want to make you the real you that is truthful, that will not commit the atrocity of silence, that will not commit the atrocity, that will not commit the plague of silence. That is who you are. I want to meet you.
Wow, there's a speech right there. So the real you to come out, the real you that will not commit the plague of silence, by I.D. Peters. So let us all come out with the real us that will not commit the plague of silence, and to stop these atrocities of silence. The damage is enough. We've had enough, and we want to make things right now. So here's a good place to start. Go to Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, and you will find a whole host of playlists. You will find it on the home page. So the playlist after playlist, we've discussed in the past few days now. This is the 4th day, the plague of silence, which is playlist number 33. It has 14 titles in all and 1 trailer. It's really amazing. Please check it out. You'll really be blessed by it. I've told you about myself and what this has done for me, and the liberation that I'm still enjoying because of this knowledge and this understanding, and I'm still learning. I'm still in the learning process. So please, as I'm learning as well, I'm sharing, and I'm trying to improve my word, improve myself with my ways, my behavior, the actions that I'm taking, not keeping quiet on issues that I know that are clearly wrong and it's not right. So I appreciate the opportunity to learn and also share. So thank you very much for your time. Julie, would you like to say something before we go?
No, I think that's a very good place to stop and round this up. I think we've done this series justice and have spoken about what we've learned, and I hope that we will go back to re-listen. If you have not done so, I know for myself that I will do that, because it's too crucial to get forgotten, or to even, just forget anything, any of the lessons that we've learned. I recommend you do that, and I hope we will go to do that. I will do that for myself. I'm as well on the learning curve, so let's go learn to not keep quiet. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
We see you.
I don't know why Facebook is ending this video in 2 minutes.